I'm Erin Mayo, and welcome to The Fulfillment Equation, the podcast where we explore how to spark and foster more fulfillment in your own life through a focus on freedom, purpose, and experiences. What's your unique equation? Today represents a first for me, and I like the idea of trying new things. To this point, the guests I've carefully selected for this show have fallen into one of three categories. Either people I know directly, people who are a close contact of someone I know directly, or, as in the case of Caroline Paul or Christy Shen, someone who's relatively well known and whose work I deeply admire. In all three cases, what I'm looking for is the same: people who are wise, curious, positive, have a strong sense of fulfillment, and can offer us something to learn. So you can imagine my surprise when someone reached out from halfway around the world in Singapore and was interested in doing an episode together. It reminded me that asking the bigger questions about life and exploring our own personal meaning and fulfillment is not something that's limited to our little neck of the woods or even our moment in time. It's universally human, and it's been the topic of thought and conversation for millennia. Today, I'm pleased to welcome Nancy Ho to the podcast. Nancy's work centers around fulfillment as well. She has worked for over 26 years as a personal coach to help high-achieving individuals navigate the intricate balance between professional accomplishment and personal fulfillment. It turns out, somewhat not surprisingly, that a lot of individuals who are professionally ambitious really struggle to find that calm, content, strong undercurrent of satisfaction that we call fulfillment. In this episode, we're going to dive into topics such as navigating the challenges of success, mastering balance, and fostering resilience in the face of stress. I'm excited to learn from Nancy's expertise and years of experience in this area. Welcome, Nancy.
I am so honored. I just love the way you introduce. Thank you.
I'm so excited to talk to you and to have someone to talk to halfway around the world. What a beautiful way to spend our time together.
For sure. Yeah.
So I'm going to dive right into it because I have a whole lot to ask you, and I just want to get into the good stuff. I know you've coached over 10,000 people in your career, either individually or in groups. What are the common threads that you see in people? What are their struggles? What are they looking for?
Before I talk about struggles,
Yes.
let me say my observation of most people, if not nearly all, tend to be outside in. Now, let me explain what's outside in. That means we are looking on the outside for our inverted comma happiness.
Right.
Meaning, I'll happy when I get that promotion. I'll be happy when I close that, $1 million deal. I'll be happy when, I get married, have 2 children and so on and so forth. Or I'll be happy when I've got my dream car.
Right.
Right? So this is what I mean by outside in. I'll be happy when I get this. But strangely, when they get that, they're not all that happy. I'm maybe happy for a little while.
Yes.
For example, right? Say the car. I'll be happy when I get that dream car. Sure. Right? Of course, when they get that, that's happy. So I would say the 2 very happy days. The very first day when they drive it and the last day when they sell it. You know what I mean? In between it's just another car.
Right.
I mean, likewise, where I come from, this part of the world, I'm sure it's all everywhere too, but particularly in Asia, all right, we tend to be quite obsessed over branded bags.
Oh, branded bags. Oh, yes. Right.
Very obsessed over all these branded bags. It's one of those things, right? So then you would have this lady say, "Oh, Nancy, this is a special edition, and my VIP, you must come. And then, we reserve that for you. And then you take a look, and that's what you like, and blah, blah." I was outside in too, huh? Okay. So
yes.
Oh, yeah, I have to go. It's as if that's the most important thing on earth. So of course I dashed there. It's like, yeah, that bag would make me so happy. Example. Of course, here I'm talking about many, many years ago when I was much, much younger. And after I got it back, of course, when you pay for the bag, it's like, yay, you know. Then we carry it again. The first time, yeah, pretty good. Maybe the second time, subsequently, is another bag.
Right, right.
And often I do not even remember I have that bag because there's going to be another bag in the dust bag, you see. So this, all the branded bags, this dust bag, so to speak. And then they're all in my wardrobe. And sometimes I don't even remember I have that.
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
almost like there's an aspect there as well of whatever you're looking for. It's always future focused. It's not
correct.
now, right? So
Correct.
even when you get the bag, you're like thinking about your next bag. You're not thinking about the bag you have now.
I know of some of my clients, I think 3 of them, they buy the bag, it does not even leave the paper bag. That means the bag is in the paper bag and the paper bag is in the wardrobe.
Oh my goodness.
Buy for the sake of buying, not even using it.
Right, right, right.
Okay, I'm not saying everybody's like that, but there are people that just keep going for that. They chase, I'll use the word, they chase for the high,
Yeah.
whatever high means. Okay, high could be the position, high could be a material thing, high could be wanting your kids to have good grades, right? High could be like, getting that deal. Keep
Hmm.
chasing and chasing for that high. I call it that high. Yeah. And of
Right.
course, get a high, they chase for next high, and they go chase for next high. Well, all being said, what's negative about it, right? I mean, sure, you get what you want. That's your desire. That's not a bad thing. A so-called a go for your dreams. But when the intention is not there, the intention, you just do it almost like blindly,
Hmm.
or you just get caught up to the idea of getting it, the idea of clinching that deal, the idea
Yes.
of just having that connection, the idea of, XYZ or whatever, right? Everybody wants different thing. Uh, Without the intention, then something would give way. What would that be? At the end of the day, when you have all this, and then what?
Mm.
Because it's not intentional, right? It's just like, I don't like to use that phrase, but it's quite true, keep up with the Joneses, all right? Just keeping up. So at the end of the day, where's the fulfillment?
Right.
You know what I mean? It's not intentional. When you get something, why? Why do I want to do that?
I was just thinking that it's the why behind
Yeah,
it that's missing.
correct, correct, correct.
Yeah. Okay. You recently contributed a chapter to Jack Canfield's book, Success
Right.
Redefined, and in it
Mhm.
you described something called the professional paradox. I was wondering if you could tell us more about that.
Sure. Well, I mean, I was going to do the chapter. I said I want to do something that like different, maybe even really speaks to people's heart, not just the obvious of like what success is. After the title is Success Redefined. So
Yes.
not conventional success that we all know about. Why do I want to say something that everybody already know? You know what I mean? It's so redundant. So therefore, it's called the paradox of success, hidden struggles of high-performing professionals. Hidden struggles. Let's look at, as an example, the Hollywood star. They have the talent. Let's look at it that way. They have the fame. They have the money, right? The wealth. And many of them have the looks. But we know through news how many of them are overdose of drugs, alcohol, right?
Yes. Yes.
Relationship is messed up, so on and so forth. And I don't think it's because they are actresses, or singers. They're human.
Hmm.
It's known because they're public figure, very public figure. You know what I mean? Compared to
Yes.
many of us are not that public. And of course, doesn't help, news like to be created around them. But it's
Yeah.
part of that crazy thing. So why are they unhappy? Don't make sense, right? They're popular, right? They're talented. And many of them are depressed.
Hmm.
So why? Because of this void, and emptiness. Now, they can't shout to the wall like they're unhappy because you will appear like you are very ungrateful. So
Right.
let's come back to us, right? People like us, not necessarily the famous as famous people. It's the same, right? You've got family, you've got your good title, and then you are respected, and so on and so forth, right? You do well and all of that. But yet, many of them hit the bottles, right? That's why called happy hours. Whoever created a happy hours, that means the rest of the time are unhappy. You needed a few hours, a happy hours, that's kind of strange and interesting. So anyway, so they hit the bottles because I call them the distractor. I'm not talking about everybody got to go for alcohol. I'm just using the example.
Right.
Right. So I have clients that come to me. Okay, I give this good example. I have this very successful CEO, right? Board chairman of this organization and that. But he's really huge, really huge. Not just fat, I mean, really, really big. All right. And of course, he didn't like it. He came, he says that, okay, I need to solve my drinking problem because I drink so much. That's why I become this size. And I looked at him, I said, alcohol alone cannot make you this big. Otherwise, there's so many people that are drinking, they all going to look this size, which is not true. Right? I do not dispute the fact the calories from the alcohol they consume, of course, added to his weight, but cannot get so big. So true enough, all right, deep down, not only have void, he has anger, intense anger that he bottled up. And this is not new, as just recently. In fact, when I did my regression work, it went back all the way to the time he was a child. So
Wow.
accumulated, right? So, okay, today he's very successful, but nevertheless, the emotion only escalate. So what's wrong with that, right? What's wrong? Okay, anger, so what? Our brain produces natural chemical. Feel good chemical, like dopamine, serotonin, oxytocin, right? All those good chemicals. Feel bad chemical, cortisol. So in fact, if people want to really look at their weight or their health, we have to look at the cortisol reduction first. Because if the brain continues to produce that cortisol, I call it slow poison. So it's not necessary that, it produces cortisol and then we become fat, but it will attack our system, the reproduction of our cells, or rather production of our cells. Like a lot of people get this acid reflux, all, hypertension, eczema, all of that, not virus or disease, right? We never had it. So how does the body produce that?
Right.
How did it happen? Right?
Yeah.
Go to cortisol.
I wanted to go back to, you had brought up the word success, redefining success. And part of the issue I've found has to do with how we've defined success culturally. So traditional measures of success are often focused on money and fame or power. A lot of us spend time in our upbringing having success defined for us and judged of us by others. And I don't mean this necessarily in a negative way. It just often is the way it is, whether it's teachers, employers, societal expectations. That sense of success is defined and then judged externally. And I actually was really careful for the first year of my fulfillment equation work not to use the term success at all. I just blacklisted it because it comes with so much baggage. And then I recently came up with a new definition based on what was really coming through in the conversations I was having with guests on this podcast. And so I wanted to put it out to you, Nancy, and see what you thought of it and whether it resonated with you.
I'm big about success, mind you. All right. Like we said, we want to unleash our potential. My niece, for example, all right, she says she's not ambitious, and I was upset with her. She's only 31 years old. And I said, what do you mean you're not ambitious? You're not going to just waste your life and cruise along. So
Right.
I'm big about, like I said, your potential, what we can do, maximize it. We got so much to contribute. We have so much to give. It's not about chasing. It's about don't cruise along in your life. I mean, why?
Yeah.
And I just looked at her. I said, well, of course, she turned around and says, what's wrong with being, contented? That's what she said. I said, nothing wrong, provided you will not regret when you're older. Right?
Mm.
Because when time passed, right? 2025, mine. Right? 2025, keep me not. Right? So we cannot, turn back the clock and unwind or redo anything. Not possible.
Right.
However, we want to do that. So we want to maximize, all right, whatever we can contribute, whatever we can do. We are all good in our own way. We have so much to give, right? So it's not chasing after something. Whenever I do my group coaching, there's something I said again and again and again, regardless what topic. I said, have the end in mind. Always have the end in mind, right? Because if you don't have the end in mind, where are you going? Even our diet every day, what we're going to eat, have the end in mind. When you have an end in mind, and then you come back to here and now, and then make that choice.
Right.
Usually, you will not be that wrong.
Right.
But if we go about like whatever, and then we go about eating the whatever, right? Then go, oh, I shouldn't eat so much. I shouldn't eat this type of food, and I should not this. I should not that. So have the end in mind, and then come back and strategize and planned towards it. So that's not chasing.
Right.
And of course, the end in mind must come with the why.
Ah, yes. Right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So here's my new definition, Nancy. See what you think about it.
Sure.
Success is the sense of satisfaction and fulfillment you feel when you manage to do something that was important and meaningful to you.
Exactly. I love the word meaningful.
Yeah.
It also got to be purposeful. Purposeful and meaningful.
Purposeful. Yes. Oh, I like that.
Right? Purposeful and meaningful.
Yeah, because I think I was trying to get at a couple of things. Number one, I wanted something that made success internally driven rather than externally driven. Something that allowed it to be unique to each person, that there's no right answer to success. And then I also wanted to make sure that it didn't presuppose magnitude, that it doesn't have to be something huge. And it's also another way to make it individual. It can be as big and difficult or as small and simple as you want it to be. So, for someone, success might be to win the Boston Marathon, but for someone else, their version of success for that particular day might be that they just got out of bed in the morning.
That's right. That's right. To each his own. That's why I said start with the end in mind.
Yeah.
Right. In fact, one of the things that I coach, I've got tribe. I call them my tribe. Okay. And we've been doing it. It's not about just for the new year. I don't believe it's the new year. So keep doing stuff for the new year. Then after that January is gone, and then come February and they forget about it because it doesn't feel new anymore. Right. So no, it's not about new year, but rather start your day intentionally. So I started this thing with them called goal statement.
Okay.
It's different from goal setting. It's not goal setting. All right. Goal setting, we all know what's goal setting, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Goal statement. That means you are first thing in the morning, create a statement, what you want for the day. Yeah.
Okay. Give me an example. Like, what was yours for today?
Okay. First, I have to talk about the criteria first.
Okay,
First,
yes.
you got to be in the first person as I.
Okay.
Not we, not any other way to put it, just I. It got to be, of course, present tense.
Okay.
And it got to be in every worded has to be positive.
Okay.
All right. And then, of course, it got to be short. Because when it's long, you just don't click.
You got to remember it throughout the day.
Yes. Yeah. So I've been doing this thing like I'm slim, fit and healthy at 48 kg.
What's kg? Oh,
Kilograms.
oh, you've actually put in a very measurable.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm slim, fit, and healthy at 48 kg.
All right.
Right. So it's like so specific. And then when I say this, and this is self-affirmation, I create it and affirm it throughout the day. And guess what? My choices will work towards it, right?
Right.
The
So it's
choice.
almost like a mantra you're saying to yourself throughout the day. And then when
Correct.
you're presented with choices, do you want the fries or do you want the salad? Do
Correct.
you want to go for a walk or do you want to sit on the couch?
Correct.
You're reminded of the identity that you're creating for yourself.
Correct.
Neat. And
Right?
the other
Rather
thing
than
I'll say,
setting, rather than a big goal setting is so big. So, it's so much, and then we forget about it. And then every day we make the wrong choices. So how are you going to reach the goal?
so you're making sure not to bite off more than you can chew. It's just
Correct.
small little bites.
Correct. See, so while I'm talking to you, see, they will post it on this WhatsApp group that I have. All
Okay.
right. And they go, I'm focused and connected with my team.
Mm.
What they want for the day. What they want today. Oh, someone is so interesting. I'm wanted.
Oh, I like that.
Simple, short. It doesn't have to be long, lengthy. Sometimes it can be longer, sometimes it can be slightly shorter. All right.
I am
Even
wanted. I feel like there's so much. I have so many questions for that person.
even a simple one, like I make every moment count.
Oh,
This
yes.
is so good. You know how we procrastinate, how we waste our time,
Yes.
doing God knows what, and we think we are productive. Then at the end of the day, what did I achieve today? I have been
Right.
busy, but what did I do? That sort of stuff. So they actually posted on that on our WhatsApp group,
Uh,
and it's good because we read that, everybody reads that in the group, right? So it's also very encouraging. And I said the
yes.
first thing, of course, is about making choices because it would just direct you to make the right choices.
Yeah. I was thinking that you've got some accountability there when you're all posting as a community together.
Correct, correct. And ownership, because you say this and you're
Right.
telling the whole world, inverted comma, the whole world, you can do it.
Right. Oh, that's
Yeah, so that's the
fantastic.
energy. So to me, that's success redefined, right? Redefined as you're not just chasing again after the outside thing, the shiny objects. Nothing wrong. Don't get me wrong. Nothing wrong with buying stuff. I buy a lot of stuff. As I said, I've got all right, I've got 100 bags and 60 watches.
Oh my God, Nancy.
No, that because I have them to accessorize, right? What I
Sure.
wear, you got to go with whatever. But everyone that I buy, okay, has got a purpose. This serve
Okay.
this, that serve that. So the why.
It's got a
Yeah.
why.
So I do want people think like I wish I could, but I don't think I want to be frugal. I think it's nice to be frugal, I think, but I don't think I want to be frugal.
And you're owning it, and that's fantastic.
Yeah, it's like what you want, right? If somebody wants to
Yeah.
be frugal, right? But I want to be generous. I want abundance.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to be limited.
Yeah.
You see, I
I
don't
love
want to be
that.
limited. Yeah. So of course you got to be like within your means. So I'm not going to like buy stuff that I cannot afford and just to bust my credit card. I won't never do that. Of course, just like lately, I just changed in my house, the outdoor awning. I just changed this other stove and this and that. So people ask me, so why are you changing them? They're not working. I said, no, they are working. But I said, it's time to change.
Mm.
So it's an attitude in life. It's not only about the thing, but it's like, why has it got to be broken? Then you change.
Yeah.
Then
Okay.
it's the same attitude that until I'm broken, then I start changing. No, it's evolving, right? It's stepping up. It's step up, level up. So my home improvement never stop. Doesn't have to be big stuff. It got to be like, okay, this plant has to repot there and do that and do that. So this becomes an attitude that's always, in my mind, there's always like doing more purposefully, meaningfully. And then let's say, like I'm talking about my house, I walked in, it's so fulfilling, right? Who's to see for myself? I mean, sure, I invite people, but then they're not here every day. But it's more like, the fulfillment, all right, my effort, even before my effort, my thoughts, how I put this together, the strategy, and then the effort. And then I look at it, it's like so pleasing. That's fulfillment. It's the same thing with my business. I never do same old, same old. I'm in a similar business. I'm in the helping people profession, but I never do the same old, same old.
Right. You're always growing.
Yeah. Same, but different.
Yes.
In a very simple thing. Same, but different. So the different is stepping up, leveling up.
Yes.
Right. The different is at the edge, creative. Yeah. Being creative.
I was wondering if you could tell me about your own childhood, how you used to measure success and the pressure you felt to win the race of life.
Oh, when I was young, I was very materialistic. Yeah, I was very materialistic. That's why I talk about the outside in. Okay, it's just keep chasing and keep chasing. And success came early.
Okay.
Early, like 25 years old.
Traditional measures of success, I'm assuming.
Correct. Yes, traditional measures of success. Which, like I said, it's not that it's not important. It's not useless. It's not good.
Yeah.
But that alone become negative.
Right.
So that was that alone. Okay. So that alone, I have a health scare. I never had a pimple on my face as a teenager. So I had a cyst in my womb.
Oh.
And it was so early in the early days, it's not as advanced. They cannot tell if it's cancerous or not. They have to, operate, take it out, diagnose, and then they know it's cancerous. I was only 28. I think they're about 27, 28. Wow. So as a 27 years old, you hear that it's not funny. I mean, especially when the doctors say, like, in the midst of operation, if we feel that it's not right, well, it's not right, not looking right, especially the womb, we will have to take out the entire womb. Oh. As a 27, no, I don't want to hear this. So I went into a denial for 2 years. No, this cannot be true. The doctor make a mistake. How crazy was I? So anyhow, after 2 years, it was like I said, oh, better go back and see what happened. By then, you've grown so huge, so huge. So thank goodness, all right, it was not cancerous. I did the op, it was not cancerous. So that was my wake-up call. That I said, how did it happen? Like I said, I didn't even have a pimple on my face, right? So how did it happen? So looking back, I said, of course. That's why I talk about the cortisol. My cortisol was high because I was always pissed off. I was angry. I want things my way. I was forceful. I was demanding. And nothing I'm proud of, at all, as I speak. But at that time, I can't see better because I was just chasing after that high. I just want it this way. I just want it. And then, of course, because the success comes with that wealth, right? Come with that money, right? The measurement of that. So who's to say I'm wrong? Right? Who's to say I'm wrong, right? Now I'm 61 and I look pretty good. Can you imagine when I was only 25?
You do look good.
Sounds like I'm showing off, but it's a fact. I always like upkeep myself and stuff like that. But that was my wake-up call. And that's why I look inward. Introspection. All right, what went wrong? And that was part of the thing that I talk about in my chapter as well. All right, there was no fulfillment. It was just chasing for the high, as I said so many times already.
So what changed after that? What did you change? What did you learn from that health scare, and how did life look different for you afterwards?
Yeah, for sure. So that's why I said I was angry, pissed off, and all of that. So I went first introspection. All right, what went wrong? If we cannot know what went wrong, we cannot fix anything. Correct? So I said, all right, stop being angry. It can be that simple. Seriously, stop being angry. Then, of course, I go deeper. Why was I angry? All right. So because of my outlook of life, that this is not fair, that is not fair, So anger stems from it's not fair. Just like a child not getting what he wants or what she wants, they stamp their feet. It's not fair, All right, it's not fair. I want this. It's the same. Of course, as an adult, we don't do that, but then it's similar energy.
Right.
Yeah. So stop being angry. There's no fairness in this world.
Was it easy to stop being angry? Or is it like quitting smoking or something where, I mean, I've actually never quit smoking, but I've heard of things like that that are really, really hard, or you may have setbacks or have to try over again.
You gotta start with understanding your belief. So my personal belief is like, I want to play fair. Okay? Life is about playing fair. That's a crazy belief. Because there's no fairness. Okay, what I'm trying to say is we can only make our world, our own behavior, as fair as we can play out with people. But to expect fairness in the world is a crazy thing.
Yeah.
I mean, look around, all the crazy bad stuff that happened, the negative things that happened. I mean, I have no end to explaining why people do that, what they're thinking. I don't know. So we can only create our own world as good as can get and not be affected by the real world. By saying that, I don't mean don't care. By saying that, I mean, what can you control? We can only control what we can control. We cannot control what we cannot control. All right. So sure, I do social work. I contribute to this organization called International Justice Mission, where they help girls, particularly from modern slavery and sex exploitation.
Yes.
Yeah. So I volunteer both money and services. Right? I teach the girls soft skills, life skills, because even they are being saved, so-called saved, all right, but they still are being traumatized. So I help them with the healing and so on and so forth.
Yeah, and that's something you can control.
Correct.
Yeah.
That is something I can control. So I don't mean that, the world is unfair, so who cares? No, it's like, what can I do? So I do what I can do and not get affected by what I cannot do. And then I will get pissed off and angry, which a lot of people have, that righteous anger. The righteous anger, this is not right, that is not right. And that was what I had. Righteous anger is not like I'm angry with my mom, I'm angry with, people not doing things. But no, I had this righteous anger. This is not fair, that's not right. But what can I do? So therefore, my brain produces that cortisol and caused me having that cyst.
I wanted to go back to the chapter in Success Redefined. And if it's okay with you, I'm just going to read an excerpt because I really loved this part. This excerpt talks about the professional paradox that we were touching on earlier. This paradox arises from the dichotomy between external achievements and internal fulfillment. External achievements are visible, quantifiable, and often subject to societal validation. They're the milestones that society encourages us to strive for, the benchmarks by which we compare ourselves to others. However, these achievements, while significant, aren't always synonymous with satisfaction and subsequently happiness. Internal fulfillment, on the other hand, is deeply personal and subjective. It's about feeling content, at peace, and satisfied with who we are and the life we lead. It's about living in alignment with our values, passions, and purpose. Unlike external achievements, internal fulfillment cannot be measured or validated by others. It's a deeply personal journey that varies from one individual to another.
Right.
So I love this here because I feel like you've been talking about a lot of this throughout our conversation today.
Exactly. Yeah.
And so I know in this chapter, you also go on to discuss 5 strategies that we use to help guide us towards finding a sense of fulfillment. And I thought maybe we could walk through each one. So the first I know is introspection. You've talked a lot about that, but anything to add about introspection?
Introspection has to first come from values, as I said earlier in my story, right? So I go change my belief that it's not about, play fair with the world, right? It's not that. It's like, what is my value? So my value is love, truthfulness, and integrity. So I go about to my life day in, night out, based on these three values. All right. That itself will give us that authentic confidence as like, this is who I am. But it's not the egoistic, this is who I am. You know what I mean?
Right.
So the egoistic thing, this is who I am, right? No, but it's from the value. So I'm very truthful. So whether it is a one-on-one client or, in my group coaching, my tribe, as I mentioned, I'm very truthful. And sometimes, the truth hurts, right? Truth hurts. But they accept it very well because first they know my value and my intention. Because how can I mince it, filter it? Then I'm not being truthful and therefore I cannot help you. I'm just saying politically right stuff. What's the point?
How does one discover their values? How do they make sure that they're identifying their values based on what is true for them and not what they think the right answer is or what other people think should be true for them?
Right. It is an exercise. I go through this exercise with people. It's not just like sit here and then dream up with some words. So of course, some people find it, rather they struggle, like, what are my values, as you said?
Right.
So those that struggle with it, I say, first, go and Google or chat GPT, ask for value words. So the whole bunch of value, comes up. And then shortlist as which are the ones that resonate with you. I mean, we are not a child anymore. So when certain things that we read, we know like either, yeah, I'm like that, or I like to be that.
Nice.
See? So,
Yes.
so I am loved. And that's because coming from my late dad, right? The only thing I know about is called love because he gave it to me that for, although 3 years of my life, because he passed on after 3 years, when I was 3 years old, but he given me love. I mean, programmed me with love and all that, right? So that for I resonate with, right? So even I'm truthful, like I said, words may hurt, but they know my intention, all right, it's coming from the place of love. So after a short list, okay, 3 to 5, all right, values that resonate with oneself. Then the next thing is what activities, inverted comma, what activities would I want to engage in to express my values?
Okay.
Yeah. So let's take even a singer. There are singers and there are singers, right? There are singers that, wow, is coming from their values. Singers that just sing for the sake of singing. And then those are the ones that is not sustainable. They're popular for a while and then they're gone, right? So like, you read just now the word passion. So the passion is coming from, their values. I don't buy in, some motivational speaker, go find your passion, I mean, but it's really, your values and the activities that you choose to express your values, that becomes your passion.
Oh, I like that.
What is find your passion? What you're passionate to do. So people forever never find their passion because what is that? What does that mean? See what I'm saying?
I do.
So that's introspection.
Okay. And so then the next one is individual improvement. Tell me about that.
Okay. When we were much younger, of course, we learn, all right, we study, we grow, so on and so forth, right? But after we come to a certain age, people tend to stop because kind of like, I know it all. I mean, frankly, a lot of stuff we already know, right? Whatever books we read, we kind of know. But it's not that you know it all because we will look at it at a different angle, right? Like I talk about step up, level up. Same, but different.
Yes.
Same,
always
but
growing.
Yes, correct. So that's the self-improvement part. And also, this sense of accomplishment, a sense of achievement. And it doesn't have to come from a big job, you win something and so on and so forth. Just like I said just now, right? My home improvement never stopped. There's a sense of achievement because I've created this, I've done this, and this looks so good. For who? For myself. Not for the world to see. for myself,
Yes. Right.
right? Yeah. So then also, right, next, the accomplishment could be, okay, I just took on a challenge last year. The challenge is golf. Now,
Oh.
it's I'm interested in golf because I'm just so bad at anything to do with balls. Anything to do with balls, I'm bad. Okay, so I said, okay, I want a challenge. I'm not talking a work challenge, but something that I know I'm not good at. I want to challenge myself, right? So I did golf. And then when I told some people, they said, oh, you like it, don't you? I said, I don't know. I don't know. I sucks at it. Right? So I said, I'm not in a hurry to like, yeah, I gotta be so good at it. But I'm challenging, right? What I'm not good at. That's about improvement, right? That's
Yeah.
about individual improvement. That's about, yeah, I want to improve what I'm not good at. And the subconscious mind doesn't know it's about a professional or personal or a hobby. Doesn't know, but just know the feeling. So when I'm able to overcome that, it's like, yeah, right. But that win, it's inside, not the
Right.
chasing after something win.
Yeah. So the joy isn't in the golf. The joy is in challenging yourself and watching yourself
Yeah.
improve.
Yes. So it's like, what am I not getting? What am I not getting? So I have to correct it, right? Then I've got it. It's like, yeah, but I'm not like, oh, yes. People, the golfers was like, oh, so how's your heat? Did you hit the 200-meter marks? I said, oh, come off it. Come off it. It's still a long way to go. But it doesn't matter for me. For me, is that baby step,
Right.
that little improvement. Okay, that's like a big win for me. And again, the subconscious doesn't know small win or big win. The subconscious only know, yes, I did it. The achievement, the accomplishment. So subconsciously, when you get that, so when then in life we are hit by something, all right, negative, no big deal. I've done it. I've done it so often.
Yes.
Right, I couldn't
It,
hit the ball. Now I did it. I did it. So the subconscious doesn't know that I'm hitting the ball, but subconscious know that I'm persistent. I persevere. I have resilience. Right, so on and so forth. Right, subconscious know all that. So that's
yeah.
important. Yes. Mm-hmm.
You're reminding me, I had heard once and I loved it, this idea that competence builds confidence.
That's right.
And so, yeah, I think those little wins over and over and over and over
Right.
again are the
Right.
competence that are going to build the confidence. And then I guess to take it one step further, like you described, be able to carry you through hard times.
Correct. Correct. You see, we all know this in theory, but then are people doing it practically?
Ah,
A
right.
small win thing, right? We all know that, right? That's why I said nothing is new. Nothing is new, but whether people implement it in their life. Okay. And so this is where I coach, all right, whether individual in my group, right, on implementation. In fact, I actually did a 3 days boot camp all about implementation, right? I mean, it's strangely, people do not implement. They think they do, but they don't.
It's all kind of beautifully coming together here for me. And I love it because the other thing that I'm connecting with right now is that eventually, as you get older, the world may stop throwing these challenges at you. Whereas when you're young and you're having to learn to walk and learn to talk and learn to ride a
Correct,
bike and
correct,
learn
correct.
to read and write, the world is constantly challenging you. You can get to a point in adulthood where there's a fair amount of comfort, and that may not happen. So you have to seek it. It's that
Correct,
intentionality that you were
correct.
talking about earlier.
Correct, correct. Because like I said, we think we know it all, which is not untrue. We know a lot, right? We know a lot. But then the knowing a lot, does it serve us as like implement in many different ways for us to continue to grow?
Right.
People stop growing. People stop learning because they know loads. That's the point, which is not untrue. But again, the implementation of stepping up, leveling up is very lacking. So you see that why people age so badly. How does dementia comes about? They stop using their brain. Of course,
Right.
what we already know is too obvious. It's not being challenged.
Yeah, so I guess the other thing I'm hearing from you is just the ability to recognize all that you don't know and let go of that sense of certainty that sometimes is maybe just, again, that comfort that we fall into as we age.
Is that certainty or complacency? Being
And
complacent.
maybe.
You got me? Being complacent,
Yeah,
right?
I meant it more like, kind of what you were describing around thinking that you know it all or you have it all figured out.
Yeah.
But
So
yeah,
then
I think you're right
complacent.
too.
Yeah, then become, yeah, certainty. Yeah, I agree that certainty, and the certainty becomes people become complacent, but they don't think they're complacent. That's the danger about the high performing professionals, because we are successful, right? There's no complaint about we are not achieving.
Right.
That's the issue. Right? Someone is not achieving, they recognize I'm not achieving. So if they have the desire, they have to do something. But we are achieving, right? We prove that, our bank statement is healthy. You know what I mean? We have lots of stuff, and we have a lifestyle, right? We go to clubs, we go to theater, so the appearance that what we have, that we are good. So we stop learning, we stop growing because I'm good.
Right. Oh,
But they did
interesting.
not realize that they are deteriorating, because if you don't grow, we don't grow, we decline. There's no status quo as the same.
Right.
No such thing, grow or decline. So I force myself to grow.
I love it. So I wanted to go back to your strategies. The third one is
Right.
integrating your personal and professional
Mhm.
life.
Exactly. Work-life balance. People got it so wrong. Yeah, it's work-life balance, right? If you look at personal satisfaction and professional success, it's work-life balance. And most organizations, the way they put that is also, to me, it's wrong, in my opinion, okay? Not to offend anybody. It's not work-life balance as equal number of hours. All right. It's not I can fulfill just as good, just the same amount of time or effort. We
Right.
can't, because there's a certain period of time we just have to be more devoted and project at work. So therefore, you're spending less time at home, or with your family, with your children, with your own hobbies, right? There are times that, yeah, you have more time, and therefore you can have more time with yourself, right? So the work-life balance to me is make your life work and create that balance. In short, I never forget any areas of my life that is important. I make it a point and schedule them accordingly,
Give me an
right?
example of what that looks like.
Okay, let's take exercise, for example.
Yeah.
People do not exercise because they have no time. Right? I have to dash the office by this hour and all that, because I have this project, I have this long meetings, I have calls, of course, all this Zoom thing, good and bad. When we used to go to office pre-COVID, right, we end work by certain time, right? But a lot of times now, because of technology, you're on call at 10 p.m., you're on call at 12 midnight because of different time zone,
Right.
right? So where's the work-life balance? So people become very unhappy. That's rubbish. That's not work-life balance. I said, yeah, today you have this late course. Tomorrow, how are you going to adjust that?
Like
So
find the equilibrium again,
exactly. So
rebalance it. Yeah.
exactly, like this morning, right? I exercise 5 times a week. As much as I can, I want to do 5 times a week. So our podcast this morning, right? For me, my time is at 9 a.m. So I said, I don't want to not do it because, again, programming, right? No, I'm not doing it today. I'm not doing it next day. Oh, there's another day. Then you keep on like, there's another day. So I just said, okay, I can do 20 minutes. I
Oh,
don't have to do an hour, but I can do a 20 minutes, a more intensive one. And I still did it.
something's better than nothing.
Correct. Correct. See, that's work-life balance for me.
Oh,
But
I
then
like
I
that.
can't exercise because I have no time to exercise, right? I can. All right. But there's a question like, choose again, choices. I don't have to be so fixated. I must do my 55 minutes body pump. No, right? If my schedule is later, and then yes, I can do my 55 minutes body pump because I have my own home gym. Okay,
Okay.
again, I created my own home gym. So the convenience, right? Rather than I have to go to the gym or I have to find time to go out to the pool. But that I can do. I can go to my club when on a certain weekend. You see, so how you schedule in, just like scheduling.
Yeah. Lots of great examples of flexibility in there.
Yeah, and being fluid and not
Yes.
fixated, just like I said this morning, right? So if I can do 20 minutes. So my entire being feels so good because it can consider as a challenge too. I did it because it's never fun to exercise. It's necessary. If anybody say it's fun, no, it's hard work. It's hard work. But again, it's a challenge. Again, it's achievement, right? So it's the individual improvement.
Nice.
Yeah.
The fourth one is interpersonal investment.
Yeah. So it's like related to all that I have mentioned. What I mean by that, interpersonal, first, your relationship with yourself.
Okay.
So the above points already, the 3 points that you actually working with yourself, your own improvement, you check in what went wrong, correct it. That you really foster a certain connection with yourself. So-called know thyself, right? Know oneself first.
Right.
Then you
Right.
have to invest the time interpersonal relationship with others that matters. Some people are social butterfly. So they think that interpersonal relationship is like, go networking and know everybody and be with everybody. No, I don't mean that you have to be so selective, but whatever that you consider it matters, right? I mean, to each his own. What does it matters? Of course, family matters, certain friends matters, certain associate matters. And also you got, again, having the end in mind.
So there's a certain quality aspect to the
Correct.
connection. Okay.
Correct, correct, correct. So
Right.
the connection is important. I have a client that came to me yesterday. So I said, all good? He said, yeah, all good. I said, all right, what may be a little off, right? He says, oh, my relationship with my wife. I said, okay, what's not good about it? I says, well, I think it's not as it was before. I said, how long have you been married? 20 years. I said, okay, it is a bit challenging after 20 years, you know each other so much. All that you have said it all. Right? Nothing that is so new anymore. And I then said to him, I said, let me reframe for you. Are you saying to me that you're not feeling that connection as much as you did
Mm.
some time ago? But not that they're having a bad relationship. You just feel like, it says, yeah, that's right. So is that bonding, that connection. So this is exactly what I mean that, with people that matters. Right? I have an
Right.
elder sister, about 10 years older than I am. Because of her, she sacrificed loads. That's why I got what I have today. That means the opportunities and everything else when I was young. So she matters. I will make it a point to spend time with her, right? Be it once a month or whatever. I make it a point. I won't forget. Again, scheduling.
Right. I'm hearing you talk about scheduling time. Is there any other aspect to what it looks like to invest in a relationship with someone that matters?
Time, effort,
Okay.
understand their love language. Give people what they want. Don't give them what you think they want.
Yeah, right.
Many people always give what they think the other people want. And then you backfire. It backfire because like, what do you mean? I've done all this for you. And then because it's not that love language, okay, no, I don't think you love me. What? I've been doing all this and doing this, but no, because that's not what they want. Say
Ah,
example, the love language is quality time. And then the husband, being sweet, traveling and all that, will come back with all the gifts, all the gifts. The wife is pissed off. You've been traveling, and then when you come home, you go for your golf or you go for whatever else, right? Or you rest. But where's the time between us? But then
right.
husband is that I give you all these gifts. I show you I love you. It's money, it's effort. I didn't just pick it up from the airport. I make it a point and choose the gift, right? Not those that just go to the airport and pick up something, but
Right.
still be on the wrong page, on a different page because it's a different love language. So it requires understanding. I have written my first book by myself called Love Reignited.
Love reignited.
Yes. This is a so-called 5 step to make love last forever. But actually what it is a conflict. I call it a conflict handbook.
Okay.
A lot of times it's the conflict that makes a relationship go sour. Be it intimate relationship, be it with your colleague, with your bosses, be it with your family. It's the conflict that actually separate people, right? Because there's tension that builds up, and then, and people just, okay, whatever, I can't solve it. I just walk away from it or I avoid it. So many married couples, they are married, they stay married, but they have no connection or bonding. So therefore, where's the fulfillment?
Right. The last one is investing intrinsically.
Yeah, that's going to do a lot about self-care. Self-care. In fact, a lot of people tend to overlook the self-care. Okay, besides exercise, besides diet, but really, that should be number one. We come first. I would say I come first. Why I come first? Because if I'm no good, I'm no good for anybody.
Right. So
Right?
filling your own cup so that it can spill over onto everyone else.
Exactly. Right? If I'm no good, I can't be good for anybody. If I'm having a headache now, I can't speak with you, properly.
Right.
I just, whatever, let's go through this podcast and be done. You know what I mean? Because I'm having a headache, right? But
Yeah.
I'm good. I have the energy. I can go on forever with you. And I contribute stuff, and that's why we are enjoying this conversation, because
Yes.
so everybody has to come from that place. So a lot of people tend to think like, oh, if I look at myself, okay, that self-care, just I come first, isn't it selfish? And I said, no, it's selfish when you're not good, because then you expect people to attend to you. Isn't it? All right. Oh,
Right.
I'm not feeling good. Come on. Give me some attention. Give me some love. Give me some TLC, No, so I'm good. I'm a giver. Like I said, I want to be generous. I'm a giver. I want to give, and the more you give, the more, I don't know. For me, the more I give, the more fulfilling I feel.
Right. So that self-care comes first because that's what fuels you to be able to give as much as you can.
Correct. So that self-care has to come. All right. So it's not just, it's external, internal, even time. Having the me time is self-care. Some people extend themselves so much, then there's no me time. Even I coach the teenagers, I always tell them, I said, time for everything. Time to play, time to eat, time to rest, time to study, time for everything. Work-life balance. But of course, the time for everything is not equal number of hours. But as I mentioned earlier on, it's like not forgetting the important aspects in our life.
Yes.
And schedule it accordingly. So when you do that, you have fulfillment.
I love it. That's a beautiful segue into the exercise we're going to do together around building your fulfillment equation.
Right.
So we're going to take 2 steps. The first is to identify the ways that you love to spend your time in a given week. These are the things that make you feel fulfilled. If any one of them was missing, you would feel out of equilibrium. And then we'll attach some quantities to it. So what are some of the ways, Nancy, that you like to spend your time?
Okay, so exercise is big for me.
Okay.
Right? Because we do not grow younger, we only grow older. And so therefore, our body, our physical body is that vehicle. If the vehicle breaks down, we are done. Whatever desire we have, whatever love we have, whatever we want to give, we can't give because I'm lying in bed. All right.
Yeah.
So I spent time with the exercise is big. All right. For me, I spent a lot of time creating different, I call it program. I always dream up like, how can I make this person better? How can I make this particular aspects of life better for someone, So I'm always like spending a lot of time dreaming up, right? So that's why I say same, but different, right? So I get excited I get excited easily over anything and everything.
Me too. We can bond in that way.
Yeah. So I spend time creating stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. Then of course I have my me time. I have my facial time, my massage time.
Oh, I love
Often.
that.
Yeah, that's why I said the me time is the self-care. And it's not
Yes.
about it's not luxury because there are choices. All right, there are
Yep.
choices to do that. I do a lot of spiritual work. When I say spiritual, means energy work. Like I go outdoors, I do my grounding, I do breathing, grounding, being with nature, being with the trees,
Mm.
talking with trees, just being with the universe. Yeah, and communicating, like, connecting and stuff like that. Yeah, I spend a lot of time on that too.
Oh,
Yeah.
I like that. Neat. So we have exercise, creating, me time, and your spiritual work.
Yes,
Anything
correct.
else?
Oh, yes, of course. The other thing important, I'm a wine and dine person.
Oh,
So I spend, all right, not every night, of course. Okay. Like today is Friday for me. All right. Friday here in Singapore. So tonight I will, go to my favorite Japanese restaurant. And I'm very bonded with the service staff there. So I get the best service and I'm there. I'm still coaching. I'm still coaching. I'm still there. I don't talk nonsense. I'm still there, like, talking to them about their life and how they can be better. So I'm a wine dine person. I still check out places that, I've got good wine and good ambience. And, sometimes I go with some people. So that's what I do as well as certain, like few times a month. So work-life
nice.
balance.
Fantastic.
Right.
Anything else?
I think that fills up a
That's
lot of
it.
my time.
That's
And my
great.
golf lessons and practice for that challenge that I mentioned early on. Yes.
Yeah. I'm going
Mm.
to call that one your challenge time because,
Hmm.
maybe this year it's golf, maybe next year it's table tennis. I don't know. There's a lot
Yeah,
of ball sports for you to explore.
correct. Correct. They are. They are. Mhm.
Okay. So now we're just going to attach some quantities to it because, like any good recipe, some things you need a cupful and some a teaspoon. So, exercise, if we were to think of your week in terms of time blocks, how many times a week would you want to spend time exercising?
Oh, I mentioned 5 times a week,
Okay.
5 mornings a week. Yeah,
Amazing.
as much as possible, 5 mornings. I aim for 5 mornings, right? So two mornings, I just take it like my recovery time.
Yes. How about creating? How much time a week do you spend creating?
Oh, I think I spend at least 70% of the time. Of course, I run a very busy practice. Average, I have like at least 5 to 6 clients a day. So my
Wow.
day is full. Yeah. Yeah.
And is that 5 days a week or six or like what's normal for you?
7 days a week.
7 days a week. And this is why I love to do the equation because there are maybe some people where working, I guess they might call it working. I love how you've called it creating because that is your passion. I can see it
Right.
in your eyes when you talk about it. But doing something like that 7 days a week may not be fulfilling for them, but it is for you. And I love that you are so in touch with that.
You see, it's fulfilling for me because sweet spot. I'm in a sweet spot that is not work anymore.
Right.
Right? I call it work, it's responsibility, right? I cannot not show up. If it's play, I can cancel anytime. Right? If it's a facial appointment, I can cancel anytime, right? But work, I can't. And I've got a responsibility. I've not only have to show up, I have to deliver results, right? I'm accountable and so on and so forth. That's the only reason I call it work. But otherwise, it's what I choose to do. So I choose to, like after this, I've got to go to the office, right? And then to have somebody all the way from Russia. She actually just texted me yesterday, says, "Oh, I'm in town for a few days. I'd like to see you." I mean, like, that's so exciting. You remember me.
Yeah.
You
Amazing.
know what I mean? You remember me? You could have gone to any other therapist, right? Okay, so I want definitely. I'm excited, like meeting an old friend.
Yes.
And more meaningful is because I'm there to help her to overcome something. So that to me is so rewarding. Yeah. So so people go, oh, well, you work 7 days? My God. I said, no, it's just that what we do in 7 days. I just choose, just like I choose, to speak with you right now, then anything else is a choice, right? Again, I said so many times, choose, 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 choices, 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 right? So I choose. So it's not work. So it's fulfilling because
Yes.
I have my why.
And the fulfillment equation is all about being intentional about designing
Correct.
how you're spending your time. And so for you, that is the way that you love to spend your time. So
Correct. But at the same time, I like the equation. I still have time for the other things
right.
I want to do. Yeah. I
That's
do not
right.
neglect them. Yeah.
So I use a big letter when I'm putting something like a big block. So I'm going to give you seven, a big C for creativity on that one.
Okay. All
All
right.
right. How about me time? How many times a week?
Me time, I guess at least four.
Okay.
I I do. As the me time is not necessarily just the facial thing and all that, but it's just being quiet,
Yes.
right? Just step back. Maybe 4 to 5 times. Yeah.
What about spiritual time?
Spiritual, I guess. Okay, besides going out to nature, of course, that. But again, I have my backyard, my front, my garden. I think almost every day.
I was just going to say,
Yeah.
I feel like you're going to say it's an everyday thing. It's just
Yeah.
part of what brings you
Yeah.
joy on a daily basis.
Correct, correct. Because I scrutinize my trees and my plants, and that's connecting with nature, right? And then my bird, and then my fish.
Right.
Yeah. So pause and spend time with them.
Beautiful. What about your dining?
Oh, dining, let's say 3 to 4 times a week. Yeah, at least three, at least three.
Okay. Three. That
Yeah.
sounds awesome. I love a good meal out. And then you've got challenge time. How many blocks a week for challenges?
Twice a week.
Twice a week.
Yeah, yeah, that's me.
Fantastic. Okay, so we have your equation, Nancy. Seven big C for creating, plus five for exercise, four for me time, seven for spiritual time, plus three for dining, and two for challenges.
How does that sound to you?
Oh, it doesn't matter what it sounds like to me, although I am excited about it. Does it
Uh-huh.
resonate with you?
Oh, yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Amazing. Okay, some quick rapid fire questions for you before you go. Number one, finish the sentence. Fulfillment is.
Doing things that is meaningful and purposeful.
Give me an example of a small moment of joy you had in the last 24 hours.
Waking up with that smile on my face. Every morning I wear accessories that cause smile. But the moment I wake up, the moment I open my eyes, I put that smile on. And that sets the day.
I love
Yeah.
that.
Mhm.
What is a book you read or a podcast you listened to that changed the way you think?
I think that would come from Sydney Banks. Sydney Bank is not somewhat very big time, author or a speaker or a trainer that is like so well known. In fact, he was a welder, Scottish welder.
Okay.
He was depressed. He was so depressed. Then he went to psychiatrist after psychiatrist and was so depressed. Then what did dawn on him that why he was so depressed? Because everything starts and ends with the way we think, right? It's our thoughts that we dwelled and dwelled and dwelled and dwelled that make us, fixated because we can't change, especially the past.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's why I talk about this outsiding kind of thing. So is this outsiding misunderstanding that is like our problems is created by somebody, someone else, or some situation? No. Everything outside of us is neutral. It's how we think about it that we give it meaning.
Hmm. Yeah.
Everything is neutral, right? Oh, I love that Black Forest cake. No, come on, the cake is neutral. It's my thought about it that gives us that so-called the idea, what
Right.
it means to us, right? So that's the three principles: mind, consciousness, thoughts. If anything else, that was very impactful for me.
In one sentence, what does freedom look like to you?
Being my authentic self and express my values.
What is the coolest place you've visited or a place you visited that exceeded your expectations?
Ah,
We didn't talk about it today, Nancy, but there's a bit of a travel theme happening in this fulfillment equation thing.
okay, I'm someone that don't travel very much. Or rather, I only travel for a purpose. I'm not a holiday person. That's why you never hear me saying that.
That's okay. It could be something
Yeah,
within Singapore where you live.
I do travel. I've been to States so many times. I mean, I've been going to the States for like the last, 20 years, every year for a couple of times. But I'm not the holiday person. Like I have to travel this to go and see that and to be in the mountains or go for skiing. That's not my thing. But if anything else, I call it my adult playground with Dubai.
Oh, yeah?
Yes, yes. Dubai, everything is bigger, better. And as a wine and dine person, it's exciting.
Nice.
Yeah.
What is something you do regularly to fill your own cup?
That's interesting. What was it? My introspection, my reflection.
Yeah.
Yeah, my
And
reflection. So always checking. Yeah,
we saw it in your equation a bit too. Like you've actually built in, even in your equation, things you do regularly to fill your own cup.
yeah, yeah.
That's
So
lovely.
it's inward rather than like I said, not going for the chase. Like I'll be happy looking at my plants, how they grow, what do I do with that? And I wake up in the morning, right? I go to my birds, is Joey and Josephine. Good morning, Josephine. Oh, you lovely girl, aren't you? You know what I mean? My neighbor go like, she's talking away again. Come, have your breakfast.
Sometimes it's just the little things, isn't it?
Yes, yes. I
Yeah.
mean, that gives me much more joy, than, you, let's say, win a big lottery, I think.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
you know what I mean? It's like, really? I seen a bird. I would go, oh yeah, just yesterday they were I changed them to a bigger cage and then they were eating away and I took a video and I go, oh wow. I was like, oh, with excitement. I mean, like, just watching the bird eating. Yeah.
I love it. I totally can see that. Nancy,
Right.
thank you so much for joining me today. This has been such a pleasure. I have really loved getting to know you. And I love how it feels like we're talking the same language a lot of the time, but you have also brought to the table so much for me to take away and think about and for us all to have learned today. So I really appreciate it. Thank you.
I enjoy it. Definitely. I enjoy the time together. Thank you very much.
If you like this podcast and want to support it, tell a friend about it. You can also connect with Fulfillment Equation through Instagram or Facebook for updates on new episodes, daily doses of joy, and fun travel tips. And if you are really into it, feel free to join the Fulfillment Equation community through the website at fulfillmentequation.com, where you will get a weekly email with insider information and free resources to help you build more fulfillment into your own life. I hope you enjoyed the episode today. There's more to come this season, so stay tuned.